sliding up. It's not. It's lighter than the double. Is it? Oh.
Damn, look at that.
Damn.
I poured beer too.
Shit. Wait, you're not getting, are you getting this? Oh shit. Beautiful right there, man.
I only pour them these days. I don't drink them.
No? You're done? You haven't been drinking?
Nah, it's been a good minute.
Yeah.
I have one every once in a while, but
well, that's what we're talking about. Like, that's like the tough part for me. It's, I don't mind drinking one or two, but then I want to drink 3 or 4, and then I want to go eat crazy, and then I don't want to work out the next day, and then it just like, it's a whole compound effect.
And then you gain like 5 pounds or 6 pounds for
over
like 2
the
weeks.
weekend. Yeah, exactly. It takes all that time to lose it, and then.
All right. Cheers,
Andrew. Hey, thank you for having me here, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Man, you guys have your own spot now. You guys started what, in 2017?
2017.
Right
yeah.
That's what I thought.
Backyard pop-ups. That's when we met you.
Yeah,
well, actually, we met you at Howlin' Ray.
Exactly. So I was thinking about it. That's right when I started my Instagram, my food blog. Met you at Howlin' Ray's. And it was interesting because somebody had told me, I had just came back from Austin myself.
Yeah.
And somebody had said, oh, I know these guys that are doing a Texas barbecue pop-up, and I was like, oh, Texas barbecue pop-up. They're like, yeah, friends from East LA. I'm like, really? Texas barbecue pop-up in East LA? I'm like, all right, whatever. I wasn't like sold on it. And then I saw a couple of the pictures. I was like, oh, okay. And then I met you guys, and but I mean, it's been a wild ride, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you were part of the team too for a little minute at Smorgasburg in the beginning, and
that was pretty crazy.
You ran the register, and like I was like, come on, Dave, fucking cut the small talk.
Hey, I was even
but you were cutting for a little
some of the
bit,
brisket and the ribs. I was doing pretty good. But look, I know the story of how you guys got started and what sparked your interest. But would you mind like telling a little bit about how you got started and just your overall interest?
So prior to barbecue, my day job was insurance, and that just had nothing to do with barbecue, but it had me in Texas a lot. Yeah. And so I was out there, had a lot of downtime, and I had some company dollars for lunch and dinner. And I'd go to breweries or just different things. And then I tried Texas style barbecue because my father-in-law at the time, when he was alive, he was just like, if you ever make it out there, you should have barbecue. I heard it's really good. Had it, blew my mind. And then I was back in my day job in my cubicle, drawing out my ideal smoker on forums on one screen, my email on the other one. Someone's coming, I'd switch out the barbecue stuff, but kind of just went down that rabbit hole and never really thought to do it because I wanted a restaurant. It was just like, how do I learn how to do this at home, because I couldn't find this style of barbecue in LA, right? Yeah. So it just kind of started from that, and then it went from, drawing something out. I made a little drum smoker, like an ugly drum. I think I got the schematic from like Popular Mechanics and put it all together handy, so I figured it out, and then went from that to buying like a decent 1/4-inch steel backyard pit. That was fun, and then at that point, I was doing it for, family birthday parties. We'll watch a De La Hoya Mayweather fight or whoever was fighting in those times, and it's just like, I'll bring something. They had food, but I'm still bringing pulled pork or something, right? Never really messed with brisket, so kind of went from there, and then it was just like, we can't be giving away this food all the time. So, but I wanted to cook it every week, so then we decided, well, why don't we try to cater it, and friends supported during the holidays, and then after that it was like, let's see what we do from there. So it was just like, we created an Instagram name, and after we did that, it was just like, all right, let's, when we get 100 followers or 200 followers, I think it was like 100 or 1,000 followers. I can't remember what Michelle had her mark at, but it was just like, all right, once we get to these followers, we'll do a pop-up in the backyard.
Wow. Okay.
So we did a pop-up, and it was just like, we did like 2 briskets, and we didn't know what to expect, and we sold out of those 2 briskets. It was 2 briskets, right? Like,
but that was actually at the beginning of the whole like pop-up boom. So how did you even take that leap? Like, how did you even think?
It was just for fun. I mean, I had a day job. It was stressful. I'd work like 9 to 5, but it was really like 9 to midnight because I'd come home, keep working, had the kids. Michelle was stay-at-home mom, and it was like longer than she wanted to do it. It's just our youngest Diego had developmental delays, so she had to go to regional and take him to all these different things that he needed for to develop. And so that kept her home longer than she wanted, and she needed an outlet, right? It was just like 2 crying kids and daycare and pre-K and all that stuff, and it was just like, she was going crazy, and so it was just like, I need to do something. She didn't really say I needed to do something. It was just like, we should do these pop-ups too, and we were both on the same page, and I was just like, you want to do this too? Like, okay. So we did it. So it was like her idea, and we did a pop-up. and kind of just went from there. We saw like other guys like Ragtop Fern doing it, Bert too, so everyone knows from Trudy's and now Slab. They were doing it, and they were on the west side, we were on the east side. It's just like, well, they can do it there, we can do it here for sure. So we did it, never really thinking it was going to get that crazy, and then within a month's time, I think we met you around that time.
Yeah, I think I probably went to maybe the third or fourth one or something like that. And when I went to it, there was already a line.
Yeah.
So
and then you were just there every weekend. You come with your uncle, and he'd be like, "Hey, can I get the table in the back?" It was like our VIP table.
I was like reserving the table. Yeah. I'm like, I'll keep buying meat. That's fine.
But you would roll up with your ice chest and your craft beers, and like you guys would make a day out of it. And
I loved it.
We had like cool music playing at the time. So yeah, you literally were there from the beginning, the whole progression to where we are now. So
I loved it, and that's what I was saying earlier, is that I went to Austin because I used to always love traveling for food, and I had to experience that when you try that Aaron Franklin brisket, and you come from LA, you've never really had that, and you eat it, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Then when I had yours, I was like, holy shit, this is actually pretty close to what they're doing in Texas. So that was amazing, and I just like fell in love with barbecue. But it was interesting, like the style of barbecue is definitely changed over the last from LA to where it is now. I mean, we've seen a big change before, but like, can you talk a little bit about like how LA barbecue was prior to it? Because you said that you couldn't really find Texas
couldn't really
barbecue.
find it, and I mean, you still can't really find it in a restaurant setting. There's like, there's money out there. People try, they throw money at something, and it doesn't really hit, right? So honestly, outside of us, you got Heritage, but they're all the way out in San Juan Capistrano. Like we're pretty even. Like we're on a list, they're on a list, and it's always like it's fun. Neither one of us take that stuff personal. It's just like I love seeing them shine. They love seeing us shine, and whenever we can hang out, we do that, and we talk about what we're doing. But I love seeing that. It's also like keeps us on our toes, and I think vice versa. It's just like it's like a fun competition. But nothing serious. Outside of us, though, like it's pop-ups, right? You got like people that were doing what we were doing when we were doing it, and there's a whole new wave of them.
No,
and
absolutely.
it's really cool to see it. Like I'm just like I see a couple guys out there that I'm just like, one of these guys will make that jump and do a brick and mortar and be like, what? Can I cuss on your podcast?
Yeah, of course.
What the fuck did we do, right?
Yeah.
But they'll figure it out, and so I'm sure within the next like 5 years, like there won't just be moves, right? I'd be surprised if it's still just us, but in LA County specifically. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see kind of like the wave. I mean, when we were doing it, we were the only ones out here with like legit offset smokers, and it's like, now 1,000 gallons is standard. And I'm like, some of these pop-ups have crazier rigs than I do, and I'm just like,
Well, when I first went to the pop-up and saw how big was that rig that you had, I thought that was huge.
Yeah, it was. The first one, like I said, it was just a little backyard pit that I would squeeze like 4 to 6 briskets in.
Right.
And then shortly after we had the green ones.
Yep.
So we had a 250, and then we had a 500 that were kind of completed on the same weekend by Fat Sack Smokers, who's no longer around. So we had those, and we ran with those up until 18. And then we got rid of one of the green ones, and then we ended up getting, what did we get? We got a double 500 out of Texas, and then that's kind of been our workhorse. Even today at the restaurant, we use it. And then we sold our original green 500 gallon. Actually, Domestic Barbecue.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
They bought it. They're doing like a California version of their barbecue. So that's why I don't mention them when I say Texas style barbecue. But they do really good food too. I've had Milton and Erica's food at different food events, and it's just like, I know it's always going to hit. They do fun stuff. So I feel like they should get more shine. They don't get as much shine.
I need to get out there for sure. Yeah. Well, that brings me to, I was asking, was there sort of a education for your customers that were coming to try the food? Because most people here in California were used to fast grill, tri-tip. I don't know if you got a lot of people asking you if you sold tri-tip or anything like that.
We do that.
How do you see that change?
We get phone calls. Like, I heard you guys do tri-tip. We do brisket. It's not the same thing at all, other than they're both beef, but. So we have to educate people about that. Line culture, like right now, right? We're about to open awesome. 5 minutes, and it's Thursday, and we have a line out the building, which is pretty wild for a
that's
Thursday.
Amazing.
So just kind of a testament to what we do. People love it. It's a lot of repeat people, especially on Thursday, Friday, or regulars. But Yeah, so we had to educate on that. We had to educate on like why we sell out. We don't want to sell out. I mean,
Yeah.
we sell out at 3 o'clock. Like we're losing revenue
Yeah.
for those extra few hours that we're open, and we have a staff now.
Yeah.
So we try to make enough food that goes all day. There will be things that do sell
Yeah.
out, and on a crazy week, baseball playoffs. Dodgers
Yeah.
have a home game. You can't really forecast that stuff,
Yeah.
so you make a little bit more, but you don't want to throw stuff away.
Right.
So you make what you're comfortable making. And if it goes a little early, it goes
Yeah.
a little early. And if you carry something and
Yeah.
you can't sell it, it's fine. Like
Yeah.
we can repurpose it into something else.
Yeah, I think people are starting to now
or give it away,
understand.
yeah.
I think people are now starting to understand the whole process and how much labor it takes to do barbecue. It's funny because that you brought that up. I remember one time being at a pop-up and we sold out early,
Yeah.
and the owner of the brewery was complaining. They were complaining that we sold out early, we didn't have food, but it's like, throw another brisket on the grill or something. It's
yeah.
I don't know,
And we're
it's-
like, oh, we do have them on, but they're for tomorrow's event
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they take like
No, this is. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I'm proud of you guys for where you guys started and
Yeah.
where you guys are now. I mean, look at this. This is
Yeah,
fucking
it's crazy.
awesome,
I
man.
mean-
we got an awesome bar. I mean, not to mention like the beers.
Yeah.
You guys have a great like.
So when we finally decided, you know what, we want to do a restaurant. Our thing was, we need to find a spot. We didn't want to do it from ground up because it's
Yeah.
a lot more expensive, and the whole thing behind barbecue, it should be a little like, barbecue's expensive. The margins aren't the greatest, so it's like you get into something where your overhead is just insane.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to survive. So our thing was like, we need to find like a second-gen restaurant, something that's almost turnkey
Yep.
and a small tap system.
Yeah.
4 or 5 beers would be good, but like just really good beers. We got lucky. We found this spot. I think it had almost 40 tap lines,
Yeah.
like 40,
Yeah.
15, 30, like 45 lines. It's wild. That was the most overwhelming thing. Like I never ran a restaurant. I worked in fast food when I was younger. But like every day when we were getting this place ready, I just kept looking at the bar behind me. It was like, how the hell are we gonna figure this
Yeah.
out?
Well,
And honestly, it's not that hard. It's just like you find your key distributors, you order good beers from them, and then also when you get established,
Yeah.
then you get other beer companies that don't necessarily distribute reach out to you, and
That's
then
awesome.
and then that just ups your bar game, your beer game, right? So
Yeah.
like we don't do hard liquor, but I mean we have some of the best beers I
Yeah.
think in the area, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean we have Monkish now.
Yeah, I mean, this is awesome.
They don't distribute to anybody. I think we're a handful of 5 accounts,
Yeah.
if that,
Yeah.
that carries it. So
Yeah, it's
you
great.
know, it's always been one of our favorites, and it was one of the spots we used to do pretty rad pop-ups at. So I think it kind of just like finally tied together. So
Do you miss the pop-up days?
no,
It was a lot of work, right?
I
The
enjoyed
Smorgasburg.
I enjoyed doing a pop-up.
Yeah.
So like if we can do like a family style or like barbecue day at Smorgasburg like once a year,
Yeah.
and then caterings in between,
Yeah.
I enjoy it because it allows me and Michelle to like be in front of customers,
That's
slice
fun.
in front of people, like have that interaction that we don't get at the restaurant
Yeah.
because we do everything in the kitchen, which wasn't by design, but it actually works out better because if we're slicing in front of people to order,
Yeah.
that line is just going to be there
Takes a long
forever.
time.
So if we do it in the back,
Yeah.
we can have 2 cutters. We take enough orders, fill the seats,
Yeah.
and then we call their names out. So it works out better from a customer standpoint. It flows a little bit better, but. If we can do the whole front of the house over again, I would probably still do the cutting
Is that right?
station. Yeah, I miss that
This is-
customer interaction.
Yeah, that's always
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But anyway, again, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming in.
I
It's
can't
always good to
wait.
see you.
Well, let me ask you this:
Yeah.
what's one thing that we got to get at Moose if we're going to come? What's the one signature?
We're a barbecue joint, but I say like get the burger. The burger is like legit. It's funny enough that we're a barbecue restaurant, but we've been on like recently over the like the last year,
Yeah.
year and a half, we've been like hitting like all the burger lists, right?
Right, exactly.
So maybe we got to do a taco and hit those taco lists
Yeah,
at some point.
yeah, that'd be
that's a little-
amazing.
that'd be a little crazy, but
The
yeah,
burger's amazing.
I would say get the burger. But also, get the brisket. The
Yeah.
brisket always hits. That's like always our main focus. We're a
Yep.
Texas style barbecue joint. So if you're doing Texas style barbecue and your brisket sucks, like,
Oh,
are you
that's
really a
it.
Texas style barbecue joint? So for me, brisket, ribs, sausage, Trinity, no matter
Yeah.
what, you can come back and get the specials
Yeah.
another day. But if you're coming in for lunch and you want to keep it like
Yeah.
lighter for
Yeah.
barbecue, like get the burger.
Right.
It always hits. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks again, dude. We're right down the street from Dodger Stadium, so
Yeah.
go Dodgers, right? What a crazy game that was
Pre-game,
yesterday.
yeah, pre-game here.
Yeah. Thanks a lot,
All right,
bro.
dude. Okay. Good to see you.
Congrats on all the success, all
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
Cool.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks.